Happy New Year, everyone. It is 2026. Is it me or does time seem to be flying by? So, this year, guys, 2026, it is New Year's resolutions or bust. We all know that we're forewarned about resolutions, and everyone says, don't do it. You're just setting yourself up for failure. You're going to set all of these goals, all of these expectations, and then when you don't fulfill them, you're going to create an entire sense of self-disappointment. Just create healthy habits, develop and solidify them over time, and you will be okay. And there is truth to that. And this year, even though I held to that standard, I am going to give resolutions another shot. I'm going to try again this year. I attempted to just free myself last year and just build these healthy patterns, and I fell off, guys. So let's talk about what's going to be different this year. Before we go into that, I'm going to tell you one of the most profound resolution scenarios I've ever observed. So a couple of years ago, I walked by and I saw a sign that said, summer bodies are built in winter. So I said, oh my goodness, that's actually true. Let me get on this. So I got myself a personal trainer at around September, right? So I was working out at the gym, doing a couple of days of cardio, and then I met with my trainer a couple of days, and I was learning so much about how to condition and strengthen your body. It was great. I stayed consistent, and by the time it was November, December, I was really into my groove. One day I was running a little bit late, so I called my trainer and I said, listen, I'm coming, I'm on my way. I pulled into the parking lot, texted him, walking up the stairs, and so he was standing at the top of the stairs waiting for me. When I got upstairs and I walked in, I saw all these people. I saw a group doing yoga. I saw a group of guys taking turns on the machines. Some women were in a circle stretching. And so I froze and I said, what's going on here? Is there an event? Did I miss something? And he said, no, don't worry about that. That's just the New Year's crowd. It's going to be packed here for a while, and then in a couple of weeks, they'll all be gone. And I thought, what? Because there were about 50 people. The gym is pretty large, so it was not cramped, but it was full. I'd never seen it this full before. And then I stopped and realized, oh my goodness, this was the first Wednesday or Thursday in the new year. But that statement he made of being so certain that those people are not going to last, it felt prophetic in a sense. I couldn't get that out of my mind. The entire time I'm working out, I'm stretching, I am just watching them and thinking, oh my God, this is what they talk about. How habitual we are, how predictable we are as humans, that we are going to do something that we're warned against, right? Don't do it. Don't make the resolution. Don't set yourself up for disappointment. And then I'm watching all these people working out and thinking, oh my God, you guys are really not going to be here in a couple weeks. And guys, sure enough, must have been maybe the second or third week in February, I went upstairs to, do some stretching and kind of get warmed up before my trainer came. And there was 1/5 of the crowd. They were really all gone. And I said, oh my goodness, what is it about New Year's resolutions that make them not sustainable over time? Is it because we overshoot? Is it because we create goals that are unrealistic? Is it because we're not sitting and planning and thinking through what we want to do? Because they're all well-intentioned, right? Everybody wants to improve, be better, be healthier, be stronger, be kinder, be less stressed, be more productive at work, have healthier relationships, do better financially. Everybody has those goals. And so the intention is good, but the execution and the rollout is what's not happening. Previously, I aligned myself with the idea that I'm not making any resolutions. It's a setup. I don't need the disappointment. I am already tough on myself as it is. I already beat myself up for acceptable, like reasonable mistakes. I don't need to be looking at myself in March and thinking, girl, whatever happened to this? Whatever happened to that? But this year, I'm going to change gears a little bit. I'm going to jump on the resolution train, right? It's Happy New Year 2026, cue the confetti, right? I am going to jump on that resolution bandwagon this year, and I am making New Year's resolutions. I'm going to share some of them with you. It's resolution or bust. I am making resolutions this year, and I am going to share that journey with you. I want to be inspired by you as well. Guys, let's do this. Let us do this year. We know what we need to do. We know the areas for improvement in our lives. We know the areas in our lives that we are already thriving and doing well. And now it's time for us to fix that and sharpen that and make resolutions that are realistic. Like SMART goals that are time sensitive and measurable. And, we want to do things that we can accomplish so that we can be better people, right? If everyone around us is working on one aspect of self-improvement, can you imagine how amazing everything would be? Just everyone is aiming at being a better version of themselves. I'm willing to share a few of those with you, and let's see how it goes, right? Because your word is your bond. I'm going to say it, and now I have to fulfill it. And I'm excited this year because I have a few years of trying my health journey, having some successes, having some failures, motivation journeys, other aspects of my life, working on improving things. So, I'm doing my own self-research. I'm watching the things I did well, and then I am learning from the things that didn't work out so well. The first area of improvement in my life is going to be my nutrition, my physical self, my body, what I eat, how I treat it, how I work out. Now, those words, diet, workout, exercise, they're thrown around. They mean different things to different people. They're very ambiguous, right? And I don't think that there is a cookie cutter model that works for everyone because we're so unique. Our bodies are different. Our metabolism is different. However, there are some common practices that will benefit all of us, right? For me, I started a sugar-free journey a few years, went up, down, did well, thrived, fell off, went back on. And I know what works, and I know the things I have to avoid in order to not fall off the bandwagon. But this year, again, I am going to say no to sugar. When I say that, and I know I've made several videos about this, you can go and check them out. I'm not making any of these statements in an absolute form. I am not going to be buying sugar or juice or cake or donuts, crackers, bread, bread that's store-bought bread, and packing those things up, breakfast cereals and all of those unhealthy things. I've made several videos about it. I am not going to be bringing those into my home, right? That is the number one filter of avoiding, sitting up in your bed at night eating ice cream and potato chips. If you don't have it in your house, you can't eat it. In lieu of those things, of course, you want to put healthy nuts, snacks, healthy things that you can eat, edamame seeds, pumpkin seeds, things that are high in protein, healthy, macadamia nuts, and whatever else that is not highly processed, made with seed oils or packed with sugar. So you have to have things in your house if you want to snack. But again, snacking shouldn't be done, all the time, because you really want to keep your body in, a state of fasting for several hours of the day in order to usher in really great health. But I'm telling you, this year, I'm saying no to sugar in my home. If I step outside and, I go to someone's home and they're celebrating their birthday and they're like, hey, you want a piece of cake? Sure, I'll eat a piece of cake. Or if it's a hot summer day, we're on the beach and someone's selling a little ice cream cone, I'll have an ice cream cone. I won't have ice cream in my fridge at home, but once in a while I'll eat something. I'm not saying I'm never putting it in my body. There are things I'll never eat. I also made a video of that as well. I'm not even saying I won't eat it like for myself mentally, but I can't eat it because my body has adjusted to my limited consumption of sugar over the years. So now some of the things I eat actually upset my stomach. I feel ill. Like my stomach is hurting. I feel uncomfortable. So it's not that I don't want to eat a Pop-Tart or, Rice Krispies or something, but some of the things I eat, my stomach starts to hurt. I have a sugar sensitivity because of how infrequently I consume it. So number one, nutrition. Take a look at what you're eating. I mean, I can share some of that information with you, but there's so much available online. Just follow the hashtag say no to sugar, why sugar is unhealthy, is sugar okay to eat, whatever social media platform you're on, and as you're doing a little bit of scrolling, follow those hashtags and you will see a plethora of information. And of course, when you come to PHDChats, I will be reacting to some information I see online and we're going to be educated together. So this year for 2026, I'm going back on my nutrition journey. I'm going to cut sugar, have a high protein diet, avoid seed oils, foods fried in seed oils, and sugar, and eat a lot of protein. That's it, right? There's a lot of other things, but that's one. Is that reasonable? That is a reasonable goal. Secondly, it is my exercise. Now, my beginning of the year goal is my 2 hours of cardio. I have the best Calypso size class in Brooklyn. If you want more details, message me in the comments and I will give you all the tags and links. It is 60 minutes that goes by so fast. So my heart and lung health is very important to me. My stamina, my ability to sustain movement and to increase my BPM. I want to make sure that I can work out twice a week and do cardio. Cardio may not be what you need. It might be strength training. Please go talk to a professional and find out what is the best exercise pathway for you. But because of my past success with doing cardio a couple of times a week, and I'll tell you what, guys, that exercise is for my mental clarity. It is mentally therapeutic. Yes, there are physical benefits, but that cardio is my stress reliever. And we can talk about stress and how so many of the diseases around us are related to that. But that cardio is my, yes, I'm jumping up and I'm dancing and I'm doing all of the things, but it really does put my mind at rest. So it's a stress reliever. It is lung and heart beneficial, and you're building your stamina and your overall health, and it feels amazing. So I'm locking myself into 2 nights a week. Come on, that's realistic. We can do that, right? You have 2 hours to spare. If you check your screen time on your phone, let's talk about the cell phones, to see how much time you're spending on your phone. I assure you that you'll find the 2 hours. If you put your phone away and you can find a video on YouTube and you can get some comfortable socks on and just put your headphones on, and you can definitely find 2 hours a week to do some cardio. Of course, consult with your doctor, a medical professional, or a professional trainer, right? So that is my second resolution. I think I can do that. I've done it before successfully, and I've also, for entire year, and I've also had years where I've struggled, but I'm going to do my cardio this year. And just hint, for my over 40, over 45 gals and guys, as we age, exercise and healthy nutrition practices become less and less optional. they become necessary, even mandatory. So the onus to be healthier and to be more intentional about what we're eating becomes more and more important. So I'm not trying to age scare you, because it is a number. And we know that some of our younger counterparts in their 20s and 30s are not making the healthiest decisions. And so we can be in our 40s, in our 50s, our 60s, and look and feel healthier than our younger peers. However, we're still in midlife. So the idea is we have to be intentional about how we care for ourselves. Can I make a confession? Can I be open and honest with you, my YouTube family? There is another part of my health and exercise journey that I do not enjoy. I may have shared that with you guys before. I do not enjoy strength training. I don't. And if you know how to make that more exciting, I put the music on, I pump myself up. I am not thrilled with strength training. It's not exciting. I don't like doing it. I feel bored. It's painful. And the idea of working yourself to exhaustion, just to failure, is stressful for me for some reason. I don't know. But I'm going to figure that out this year. So that's what I need to find. I'm going to be doing some research. I've already been looking at YouTube videos and finding realistic activities I can do, some resistance training that I can work into my week, so that I am going to be doing something I don't like. I always say that to my students when they're like, I don't want to be at school, I don't want to do this assignment, I don't want homework. And I always tell them, listen, in life you have to do hard things. In life you have to do things you don't like. That's part of our maturity, part of our growth mindset. We do the things that we don't enjoy because we're anticipating the benefits further down the road. So do I like cardio? Yes. Listen, put music on. I will dance for 5 hours. I will literally be on my feet dancing nonstop. It is a mood uplifter for me. But sitting, stretching. Okay, so I have my weights. I have my 3 pound, 5 pound, 10 pound, 12 pound, in bright colors. Then next to my couch, I have my resistance bands. I have some leg weights. I have some little arm weights. So I am ready to get my strength training going. And I'll tell you guys that, there's a saying that there's one thing, this is a riddle. There is something that you only notice when it's gone. What do you think that is? It's make a guess. You only notice it when it's not there. And that thing is consistency. When I was successfully making healthy nutrition choices, working out consistently, just balancing my life in a way that I'm accomplishing all the things without sacrificing my well-being, because it's very easy to do that. And you wake up in the day, there's 24 hours, and there's always about 30 hours worth of things to do. So ignoring yourself, not adhering to the things that benefit you is so easy to do. But there was a time when I was really in the groove of doing all the things I needed to. And I didn't even know I was doing it, because when you're consistent and you're in this rhythmic place of, checking all the boxes, you don't even notice. So I was going through my memories on my phone, and I saw some pictures of myself. And there's this one picture, I've been showing it to everybody. So if you're my friend, family, I know I've been showing you the picture of me sitting in my mother's gallery in Trinidad on the banister, about to go down to Point Fortin and watch the Emancipation Day Parade. I saw that picture on my phone and I thought, what? Who is that? Of course, I will share this picture with you. I'm sitting in my mother's porch gallery, just on the banister. My daughter was taking pictures of me, and I just lifted my hands above, to kind of make a little pose. I'd wrap my head. I was wearing like a vest and like this African skirt with a matching headscarf. So I just, lifted my hand to kind of make a pose. And that picture is not edited. My arms look so beautiful. my waist is so small. It is, I will be honest with you guys because we're family, and a big part of my goal on my YouTube channel is to be transparent and keep it real so that we're really moving through life with a measure of authenticity. There was a time, maybe during COVID, either right before or during COVID, when we were all pretty stationary and we all packed on a few pounds, and not muscle, not healthy pounds. I know I did. I mean, I look at pictures of me during COVID. I don't even reckon. I'm like, who is that? But it was me. And during that time, I gained a lot of weight on my waistline. So some of us, that's where our genes tell the fat cells to migrate to. So my fat was migrating to my waistline. And my social media presence was, pretty active at that time. So I would, take pictures outside, different activities I was doing, and I would post those pictures. And guys, several of those pictures, more than not, I edited my waist a little bit. I did, because it looked crazy. It looked crazy without me doing that. No, I'm not. It looked crazy. Now, I hadn't yet fully discovered the benefit of keto, intermittent fasting, living a sugar-free lifestyle. I was just trying other things. I was trying those things from a place of being uninformed. So I was not making the right choices. But I would just get an app and I would just edit my waist, just kind of like tuck in the sides a little bit, nothing crazy. It's so mild that I don't know if I can go back and find which pictures are edited or not, because I wasn't making myself skinnier or doing any of those, obnoxious Photoshop pictures, but I definitely was cinching the waist a little bit because I didn't even want to see it looking that way. And one of the things that was most, confirming to me, the thing that was most evident to me that my keto and intermittent fasting journey was successful was that I would take pictures and post on social media without doing anything to it. Not editing, not putting a filter on my face, because even my skin benefited and still is benefiting from the consumption of less sugar. So I would just take a picture and I'm like, post, take a picture. I was just like, wow, my entire frame looked different. And that was one of the indicators that this is good. I'm going to continue doing this. This is positively benefiting me. I have this picture that shows what just making healthy changes can do for you, because I was just lifting my arms. I'm sitting down. Now, that's when, when you sit, of course, it's natural. I'm not, promoting, thin is healthy. I know that there is not a direct correlation between the size you are or your weight and how healthy you are. But there is a correlation between your waistline, because we know the story of visceral fat, an overflowing liver, insulin resistance. That belly fat is an indicator of poor health, and you have to address that. So I'm just talking about my waistline here. Look at my waist. Look at my waist. Sitting down. And again, go back and look at my health playlist. I've done videos, I've measured my waist on camera live for you. So I know the benefits of doing that. And I want to be healthy and strong. Guys, people are living longer. Where our parents, in some cases, outlived their parents. We're going to outlive our parents. People are living longer, right? So being in your 30s, 35 was middle age, right? Because average life span 70, 71. Now people are clocking 90 very easily. So being 45 is like, okay, I have another 45 to go. I have another 50 to go, which is a long time. 10 years is a long time. So we need to make sure that we're living a life, not just longevity, but we're doing so healthy and strong, and we have muscle, right? We don't want to be thin. We want muscle, because your leg muscles and your lower muscles are very much connected to your strength and your balance when you get older. You don't want to be old and frail. You don't want to be thin and frail. You need to build that muscle, and it takes time and it takes healthy nutrition. So I'm going to be paying attention. It's resolution or bust. I am making resolutions this year. I am going to go back on my healthy lifestyle. I'm going to be back in the gym or at home, and I'm going to keep you guys posted, and I'm going to feel the benefits, and we're all going to be doing something to improve and to be a better version of ourselves, right? My third resolution is to be the change. Be the change. Be the thing that I want in my relationship. Be the thing I want in my workplace. Be the thing I want in all of the spaces that I engage in, the way I experience people and make comments about they should, they shouldn't, why can they, how could you? Am I doing those things? So I really want to be looking at myself first, setting high standards for myself before I expect those things of other people. I want to be the change. I want to make sure that if I'm holding someone accountable, or if I am commenting on something someone is doing or pointing a finger, that, those three fingers pointing back, that I'm evaluating, wait a minute. Am I doing what I am expecting other people to do? Just ask yourself that question, right? That the things I'm pointing a finger at, how would I handle that situation? And make sure that you are fair in your evaluation of yourself, and that in the same way that you hold others accountable, that you're holding yourself accountable as well, because that is extremely important. The final resolution, the final aspect of my self-improvement is authenticity and transparency. Now, I'm going to share this interesting phenomena with you guys. I practice my YouTube and my video making and my script all the time when I'm alone. In fact, when I'm at home, I'm constantly talking to myself. My husband, my daughter, they're used to it. They're just like, okay, mommy is practicing. I'm practicing my diction, my intonation, my word choice. I am voicing, opinions and concerns and topics that I plan to come to YouTube and do a video about. All of them don't make it to YouTube, but this year they will, right? Because another part of my adjustment this year is really to carve out time for this channel. I'm always talking, I'm always voicing my opinion about things at home as I walk around the house. Even at work, my colleagues are like, who are you talking to? I'm like, me, I'm talking to myself. They're like, okay. So if they pass by my classroom and the kids are not there and they just see me, arranging the desk, filing papers and talking, they're like, okay, hey, Miss Hargy, and they know that that's what I'm doing right now. When I am at home, part of my research for my channel is to watch other content creators and take notes about the things they do well, the things that, I think I can start practicing, things I'm noticing that are not translating. And one of the things that really stand out for me, and this is absolutely one of my hugest resolutions, I'm really committed to this, is their complete freedom. They are just free on their channels. Content creators are throwing on a sweatshirt. I saw this couple making a video in some hoodies on their couch, and there was cat fur. Now, I'm not, saying that in a negative way, right? My daughter has a pet, a non-shedding Yorkie. However, I'm not bashing anybody. If you have a cat, it's going to have hair. There's going to be hair everywhere. And so they were shedding. But they had cat fur on them. She just put a hoodie on. Hair's not done. Just sitting on the couch. But the content that they were sharing was so interesting. I watched the entire 60-minute video. And they're just on their couch relaxing. And before I make a video, I am setting up the lighting. I have a light box here. I have this light stick here to get the proper lighting. I am not just throwing on a t-shirt. I'm fixing my hair. I'm doing my makeup, because part of being a content producer and rewatching your own content and looking at yourself speak and watching the way you sit is that we tend to be our own worst critics. So I am just seeing so many things wrong. And most of those flaws, so to speak, are things that you guys, A, would probably never notice, and B, don't care about, because some viewers are coming to YouTube for the aesthetics, right? There are videos that I watch that I love the lighting and the tone and the filter and the voice and everything about it. But there are some videos that I look at and I am not the least bit interested in what I'm seeing, but the content, right? The topic is so interesting. It's worth my viewing time. I want to free myself a little bit this year. Yes. I want to release myself from overthinking about what others who look at my video is going to think. Like right now, I feel like I pulled my eyelash a little bit. I sure did. I'm going to fix it right here. See? Because as a working wife and mother, I have a full-time job. I'm a public school teacher. I'm teaching high school this year for the first time. I do not have 10 hours a day to produce the quality of content that these full-time YouTubers have. And I'm not saying that it's impossible. There are other creators who just, come from work, they take off their bag, they jump and they say, guys, let's get into it. And they just start making videos. And I've done a couple of those and I watch it and I'm like, oh my God, I don't like seeing it. But they're one of the videos that I made, my most viewed video, I think it's almost 4,000 views. I made that after work one day. No makeup. I just came in, I just took off my bag, put up my light box, and I made this video about bread, store-bought bread, which is so bad. Anyway, and that video was my most viewed video, right? And then I have videos where I'm doing the hair, the makeup, I'm making sure I have my brush, my powder. I want my viewers to feel like their time is worth it. And I am aiming, so you guys have to bear with me, I'm aiming to release myself from the time I take to get the videos produced and really have meaningful conversations. Because if you came to my home to sit and talk to me, then I would not be doing all of those things. And we would be having a meaningful conversation that is beneficial and is intimate and feels safe and connecting, right? And that's what I want the channel to be. Just you, my viewers, I am here and we're having real conversations and, the comments are meaningful and we're moving through life successfully and meaningfully. So I'm going to free myself this year, guys. If you tune into the channel and, I don't look the way you think a YouTuber should look, feel free to just exit and, view something that is more to your liking. If you log into my video, you click the link. Thank you for being here this long, by the way. If you click on my video and you start watching it and it's not, something is missing, it's just not holding you, I want one favor. I want you to put one comment. Please just tell me what I can fix and do better to make it interesting and to make it bite and grab you. And then feel free to exit. I really want to have a meaningful relationship. It's like when you have to ask someone to do something for you, right? It doesn't feel as authentic. If you're in a relationship and you're begging someone to love you, like Diana Ross's song, I'm Gonna Make You Love Me. That song is on my playlist because I'm like, what? Like, could someone sing a song with those lyrics today? I'm going to make you love me. Yes, I will. So on my YouTube channel, I don't want to make you watch. I want you to come see my videos, to check in, to click, to sit, to listen, to talk, to have really healthy conversations. So I'm going to make it meaningful this year because it's resolution or bust. It's resolutions this year. I'm doing it. I'm doing it, guys. I'm excited. I am going to be following up. Please go to my playlist and check it out. On PHDChats, we're talking about relationships. We're talking about health, nutrition, education, parenting, just living a successful lifestyle and being self-actualized, being your best self. I'm so excited. It's 2026. It's a new year, guys. So we will have amazing, outstanding things to share and go over this year. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hey guys, you've made it to the end of my video. Thank you for supporting PhD Chats. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the notification button, and share on all your social media platforms. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.